Lori. Welcome to grade 11 business studies. In this video, we want to look at a question from a paper one question paper, that is a past exam paper. So we're going to start to look at the multiple choice section, so which is our question 1.1. So the question reads, various options are provided as possible answers to the following questions. You choose the answer and write only the letter A to D next to the question number. That is 1.1.1 to 1.1.5 in the answer book. So we're given an example in terms of how you are supposed to present your answer in the answer book. Then on the first part of the question, that is 1.1.1, the business is dash control over the micro environment. We know that the business has full control over the micro environment. Remember, micro environment is described as the immediate factors affecting the business. And also, we know that it directly influences a company's operations, and the business will be having full control over the factors that we have in the micro environment. So the most appropriate answer that we have, the correct answer is our B. Then going on to the next question, let's try to see in terms of the next question. We are saying first question, we've got B as the correct answer. Then we go to 1.1.2, which says competitors is one of the components of the dash environment. Then we have our responses that we are given there. So you'd see that competitors is one of the components of the market environment, remember? So we have got C as the correct response that we have according to the answers that we are given there. And we know that the market environment it includes every element that may affect its ability to connect with its customers. So some of the elements that are included in the market environment, we know that we have got resources, equipment, and a company's corporate structure. And it goes on also to include other external components such as existing customers, competitors, even deliver platforms. So this is what we have in terms of the market environment. And you see that the business has no full control over the factors that are inside the market environment. So this is what we have on the second part of our question. Moving on to 1.1.3. 1.1.3 is that the agreement between Kuma Furniture and Kuma Chairs to work together to achieve their objectives is known as. So we've got major takeover, acquisition, and alliance. And I would see that alliance is the correct response that we have there, which is our D. And we know that the explanation of alliance matches the scenario that we are given on 1.1.3. We know that in alliance, in fact, a business alliance is an agreement between businesses, usually motivated by cost reduction, and also it can be motivated by improved service for the customers to work together. So when we have an agreement that is there between two businesses to work together, we call it an alliance. So we have got D. Then going to the next question, which is 1.1.4. It reads, sweet tooth uses dash when sweets and biscuits are packaged together. So we're given a scenario where they are saying if you have got sweets and biscuits being packaged together, what packaging do we call that? So according to the responses that we are given there, we have got combination packaging, specialty packaging, packaging for double use, unique packaging. But we see that combination packaging becomes the correct answer that we have. Why? Because we are having two different goods that are there. We've got sweets and biscuits being packaged together. So it becomes a combination. So going to the next question. The process of matching a new employee's skills and abilities with the requirements of a job is known as we've got selection, recruitment, placement, and induction. But we know that in such a scenario, we are having our placement as the correct answer, that is job placement. Job placement, we know that is the act of placing a candidate in a job that aligns with their qualifications. Okay, we can also align the skills and experience. So that's the explanation that we have in terms of job placement. And we see the explanation that you are given there matches that explanation of job placement. So we have C. So here we are saying C is the correct answer. Then going on to the next question. So on the first part now of the multiple choice section, we know that we can see that this is the last question that we have here. So we move on to the next questions. We are now on 1.2, which reads, complete the following statements by using the word or words provided in the list below. Write only the word or words next to the question numbers, that is 1.2.1 to 1.2.5 in the answer book. So we are given a list of terms that we have there, and we need to fill in the sentence that we are given below. So we will start with the first one, which reads, the dash sector is responsible for changing the raw materials into useful products. So we know that the sector which is responsible for transforming raw materials into finished goods is the secondary sector. So obviously our secondary is the correct answer that we have there. So we are just saying on the first part here, which is 1.2.1, we are saying it's secondary sector. We can just maybe present it. So we are saying 1.2.1, we are using secondary. Sector is correct answer. Then we can move on to the next part of the question, which is saying Suki stationers studied the attitudes and tastes of their target market, and this is an example of where they are studying the attitude and tastes. So according to the responses that you are having there, we see that the most appropriate is psychographics. When we know that the psychographics, the explanation that we have in terms of psychographics, it is the study of personality. It can also be study of values, opinions, attitudes, interests, or even lifestyles. So if you check here, the statement is saying Suk Stationer studied the attitudes and tastes, which is exactly matching the explanation of psychographics. So we have got 1.2.2, 1.2.2, and we're saying we have got psychographics. So this is what we want the second part, which is 1.2.2. Then we can move on to the next one, which is saying Fast Shoes uses dash pricing when they have an end of range sale. So obviously we need to understand exactly what do we mean when we have an end of range sale. So having an end of range sale, we are saying this is an occasion when goods relating to a particular, maybe a particular season are sold at a lower price. So the basic that we have is that goods are being sold at a lower price. And if you look at the responses that we are given, you see that promotional pricing becomes the correct answer that we have. So we have got 1.2.3, and we are saying promotional pricing. Then we move on to the next question, which is 1.2.4. The setting of targets, measuring performance, and taking corrective measures are known as dash control. So going through the responses that we are given there, you'd see that the most appropriate that we have there, we can try to choose. And there you see that is quality. Quality control becomes the correct answer. And we know that when we are having our quality control, it is the process that a business uses to ensure that a product or service adheres to a predefined set of quality standards. So during the process of making sure that the product adheres to the predefined set of quality standards, there is elements that are there during the process of trying to take corrective measures so that it becomes in line. So 1.2.4, we have got quality. We are saying it's quality control. So the response that we have there is just quality. Then obviously we have 1.2.5, which says a dash salary determination method is used when workers are paid according to the number of items produced. So we know that this is the piece rate system when we are paying workers according to the quantity that they produced. It's called the piece rate system. So according to the response that we have a piecemeal, which is just the same as saying piece rate. So it's, this is another term that we have for piece rate. So we've got piecemeal as the correct response. So we have got here, we're saying piecemeal. This becomes the correct response that we have according to the last part here. Then we can try to move on to see if we have again other questions that we have according to question 1. So we've got also 1.3, which is saying choose a description from column B that matches a term in column A. Write only the letter A to J next to the question number, that is 1.3.1 to 1.3.5 in the answer book. So I give an example on how to present in the answer book. And then column A, we are given the terms, and then we have to match explanations that we have in column B. So basically, we can start by looking at the first one, which is inflation. But inflation, we know that this is the general rise, the general increase in the price levels in the economy. We call it inflation. And we know that inflation is a macroeconomic factor. Macroeconomic meaning that it's calculated from the whole economy point of view. So this is what we have, and then we try to see according to explanations now that we are given there, which one do matches inflation. So going down, we have D, general decrease in the price of goods, general increase in the price of goods and services in a country is what we call inflation. So we've got D as the correct answer that is there. When we move on to the next one, Gauss law. Gauss law, and we go to the responses that we have, but we know that whenever there is a Gauss law, is sort of an industrial action that is being taken by workers to try to protest for a certain maybe certain reason. Maybe they are poor working conditions that are there in that workplace, so they engage in a Gauss law, or they are being underpaid. They can engage in a Gauss law whereby at the rate of working they reduce the normal rate of working, so that they activate the customer, they activate the owners or the employers, so that they get what they want. So that's what we have on Gauss law. So if you try to see on the explanations that we are having there, let's go to item I, which is saying workers collectively continue with their duties at a slower pace than normal. So the general element that is there in a Gauss law is that workers are being done at a slower pace. So what I as the correct response that we have there. And then we have convenience goods. Convenience goods, and we know that convenience goods these are goods that consumers buy often and easily without putting much thought in them. So it means consumers are not very sensitive to price changes of those goods. So that's what we have on convenience goods. As we are saying, they are goods that consumers buy often and easily without thinking much about them. So we are saying also the issue of price sensitivity also is very low in terms of those goods. So according to the explanation that we are having there, let's just try to go through every explanation to see which one do matches the convenience goods. Right, we go to H. Consumers buy these goods regularly without hesitation. So we become H becomes the correct response that we have there. Then we go to 1.3.4, total quality management. And also we might want to understand exactly what is total quality management. So I would see that total quality management comes as a framework based on the belief that an organization can build its long-term success by having all its members from low level members to highest level members focus on improving quality and customer satisfaction. So this becomes an inclusive approach whereby there is inclusion from low levels to high level workers. So that's what we have in terms of total quality management. And according to the responses that we have, let's try to see. Yeah, if you go to the last one, which is J, integrated system, which ensures each employee is responsible for quality work. So integrated system, that's why we have the key explanation there, whereby we are saying it's integrating a lower level, all workers that are there in the workplace are lower levels up to high level. So J is the correct response that we have there. Then we go to the last one, which is gross salary. We know that gross salary is the total salary before there are deductions. And when there are deductions now, we remove deductions, it becomes net salary. Remember, when we say when we want to get our net salary, we say our gross salary minus our deductions. So obviously, when you're talking about gross salary, it will be now gross salary equal to your net salary plus your deduction. So basically, you're saying gross salary is before we remove the deduction. So we go to our responses and try to see what do we have. You go to A is the total salary amount before deduction, which is exactly the explanation that we are looking for. So here we've got A. So this becomes the last part of the question. This is what we have, guys. Let's stay tuned for more videos to come. More technical examination questions are going to be uploaded. Let's subscribe and share to our channel. Let's share the link to our colleagues who are doing grade 11 business studies. As for this video, I'm signing out. Let's meet again in the next video.